Hey everyone, Apple just released iOS 17.5, and in this video we're going over what's new, an update on the battery performance, and whether you should update or not. So let's get right into it. To kick things off, the podcast app now changes color based on the artwork of the podcast you are listening to. So before, the widget would just stay that purple color right there regardless of what you were listening to. And now in iOS 17.5, that color changes depending on the artwork that the podcast has. There's also a few changes with the Apple News app. The app now supports offline mode. This makes it possible to use the app for those times where you don't have an internet connection, whether that's a remote location or maybe on an airplane trip. Once you set up offline mode, the app will download content at night when the phone is charging and connected to Wi-Fi. In order for this feature to work, background app refresh and automatic downloads must be enabled. Also, in the News app, there's a new puzzle type. So in addition to Crossword and Crossword Mini, we now have this new quartile section. Quartiles is a word puzzle game where you combine different quartiles to make actual words. I'm not the best at word puzzles, but so far it seems pretty fun. So if you tap on it, and you can select games from different days. So up here you'll see how far you are away from the next rank, how many quartiles you've completed. You can reshuffle the words down here. To play the game, you should just select the letters that you want. For example, let's see. All right, so there's trash. Once you've selected the letters that you want, you just tap on the check mark and it will let you know how many points you made off of that one word. You can also tap on the three little dots up here to get extra options. And you also have the option to reveal all words right here. Just keep in mind that if you do that, it will not count towards the ranking. Speaking about rankings, we now have Game Center integration. This applies to all the puzzle types in the News app. If you tap on the star icon right up here, it'll give you a breakdown of your friends and then the global rankings. If you prefer not to compete, you also have the option to turn Game Center integration off. Just navigate into Settings, then go to News, and then turn Game Center option off right there. That being said, all of this requires a subscription to Apple News, which is $12.99 a month. For those of you in the EU, iOS 17.5 also includes the ability to download apps directly from websites. iOS 17.5 also adds cross-platform tracking detection. Previously, you would only get alerts if an AirTag that wasn't yours was following you. Now, Apple and Google have partnered to allow third-party trackers to send out these follow alerts. It's great to see when these two competing companies work together for our safety. Speaking about safety, this next feature is huge. In iOS 17.5, you can now set your device into a repair state. This will allow you to keep Find My enabled when sending your device into repair or for a warranty issue. Before, you would have to completely sign out and disable Find My, but thanks to this addition, iPhone owners will have to do less when sending in their phone, and should speed up the repair process and less phones being sent back because their owner didn't sign out properly. To enable this new repair state, you would have to go into Find My, then tap on your device itself, and then you would scroll down to remove this device. Here you'll be prompted that it says you can't remove this iPhone, but you can prepare this device for repair. You would just tap on continue. It's important to note that you don't want to do this unless you are physically sending the phone out to be repaired. Also, since Find My will be enabled, you should be able to track your phone and see when it gets to the repair facilities and when it's on its way back. There are also changes to the Book app. The reading goal has been redesigned to a more modern and minimalistic look, rather than it being fully spelled out. On previous versions of iOS, your reading goal would be completely spelled out right there. And now in iOS 17.5, like I mentioned, it's a more minimalistic and modern look right up there. The weather widget also had some small changes. Let me pull both of those up so you can see. As you can see there, in previous versions, both the temperature and the location were a little bit bigger than they are now. And then it's a little bit reversed for like the details for the wind and feels like. That type of font is a little bit bigger. So I guess I just wanted to make it to where the information was more easily read since you do have all those details on there. As far as battery life in iOS 17.5, I haven't noticed any major changes. but I also didn't have any issues in iOS 17.4 and in iOS 17.4.1. However, from the feedback I've been getting, it seems like battery life is slightly better for those of you that were having issues. Now, for the age-old question, should you update? As of right now, I haven't gotten any negative feedback on iOS 17.5. I've been running iOS 17.5 on both my daily iPhone as well as on my test iPhone 13 Pro Max. Both performance and battery seem to be slightly improved over iOS 17.4 and 17.4.1. And with added features like the ability to keep Find My enabled when sending your phone out for repair, I think this is a solid update. If you've been having issues with Wi-Fi, signal, battery life, then you really have nothing to lose here. So I would recommend updating your phone to iOS 17.5. Hopefully with the bug fixes that are included in this update, your issues will be resolved. Apple wasn't specific about any of the bug fixes in iOS 17.5, but it's worth a shot. That pretty much wraps it up for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates in the Apple world. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.